Right, welcome back to episode 2 of Off the Path podcast.
Yeah, I know, episode 2.
It's been 2 months.
Yeah, we've been pretty slacking.
We've been slacking. Yeah, what have you been up to, Brad?
What have I been up to? Started uni again.
Yeah?
Yeah, thoroughly enjoying. Nice to see everyone again. I lost my job.
Wicked.
No, I say it like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I was ready to move on. It was the right time, and it kind of gives me time to focus on my studies, which is good. So yeah, I'd say life's been pretty decent in the last couple of months. We've both been busy. We say slacking. We've both been really busy.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've not really had time to fit it in. And even some nights where I've seen you and we've just both been we don't have the energy to bring to a podcast.
Should we have an actual chat instead?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or we brainstorm ideas for the podcast. Coming your way soon. But no, we haven't wanted to sit down with a microphone in our hands and actually record a podcast, which is, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
Because it means that we're both excited for this episode, aren't we? And
excited.
I think because we've been kind of waiting, we've been bringing up ideas, things like that. I think it's put us in a good frame of mind for it.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm very excited for what we have to bring.
Yeah.
So what about you? What's been going on in Nathan's world?
Lost my job.
Oh well.
It was the end of an internship for Nath. Yeah, finished that off. Working in events this summer.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely.
I mean, you had a brilliant summer.
Yeah, I had a gorgeous summer. It's been spot on. Yeah, had an absolutely brilliant time, and been jobless for about a week and a half now.
Yeah.
Obviously coming off the back of uni, the start of the year.
Does that make you nervous at all?
Not really. I feel like it's nice to have a bit of downtime.
Yeah. Because you started your job, what was it, a week after uni?
Yeah.
So you haven't really had a break.
No, not had a break. But I just can't sit still. I'm restless. I'm itching to go. But no, I mean, yeah. Enjoying life.
Did an Ironman?
Did an half Ironman.
Yeah.
70.3. That was wicked.
I was blessed enough just to be taken to Austria, so.
Yeah, it was in Austria, Zelmzee. And...
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Oh.
ZMC.
I thought it was ZMC.
Zelmzee.
Zelmzee.
Slay. Oh, cut that off. No, yeah, it was brilliant. I've been training for it for a good 7-8 months now.
Yep.
And had the family come out. Brad joined us.
Oh, am I not involved in family then?
Well, yeah. The family came out. And yeah, other friends came out. Shout out to them. It was absolutely brilliant. Just had such
good vibes.
It was
the whole weekend was
a good
great
time.
Vibes.
Yeah. Gorgeous part of the world.
Do you want to reveal the time you did it in?
Well, it was a solid 5:37.
I thought it was very respectable for a first attempt.
Yeah. It was a crazy experience. Swim was absolutely gorgeous in a gorgeous lake. The bike was stunning, but right up a hill.
Yeah, that looked tricky.
It was just weird for a newbie who's not.
Yeah. You picked the most scenic place to do your first one.
Yeah.
You could have picked Bolton.
Ooh. No, Bolton's gorgeous. And then the run was, the run was gorgeous around the lake. But it was tough. The run was tough. Way tougher than expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to hear about more, we can speak about it more. But yeah, that's another life update. And
I feel like a lot's happened in your life in the last few months.
Yeah, I'm just loving it at the minute. Job hunting.
Yeah.
I'm ready to crack on with the podcast. Like you said, it's been a good few months off. Couple of months. And ready to get back to it. Good sets of filming coming up.
Yeah. I love it.
For sure.
Yeah. We've listened to the first podcast a few times.
Yeah.
We know there are flaws. Our introduction was piss poor.
Mm-hmm. You might hear about that in the first episode because yeah.
Yeah, there's a few mistakes that I think we made that
we're learning
from, but we still want to release that episode because we enjoyed it and we enjoyed listening to it, which is the main thing.
100%.
So we're still going to release that as our introduction episode.
And we find it funny. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to find it funny, but we find it quite... it's not a funny podcast.
No, but I found it entertaining.
Entertaining, that's the word.
I don't know, I listened to it again yesterday before we recorded this. And there were so many things I took from it that I thought were good fun. I mean, I think I was quite proud of it
Yeah,
for a first episode.
yeah, definitely. And we went camping. I don't know if we spoke about that. I think we
Yes,
did.
because we said we were going to listen to it on our way to camping.
Yeah, which we did. Camping was brilliant fun.
Shout out to Alex Saul for absolutely hating it. He was the one that asked to go camping.
Yeah.
He was the one that said he wanted to do a hike and be somewhere scenic, and spent the whole time complaining about being somewhere scenic and doing hikes because they were too high.
Mm. And for anyone who knows Wales, it was Penny Fan that we did.
Penny Fan. Penny Fan.
And
Our campsite was nice. I really enjoyed our
yeah,
campsite.
stunning. Absolutely stunning. We're probably about half an hour from Penny Van itself.
Yeah, and we were literally a walk from the 4 waterfalls,
That's the one.
which was stunning. Nathan nearly killed someone.
Oh, big accident. That wasn't... Yeah. We were on a walk from the 4 waterfalls, and I think someone, I can't remember who, was just being really stubborn about the right way to go around the waterfalls.
Stubborn?
Yeah.
That's unlike you.
Me.
That's unlike you.
And anyway, we got to a bit of a dead end, and I thought, no way, that's not a dead end. So we climbed up. Well, me and Brad climbed up onto
It was just like
mossy hedges, trees, and it was wet as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were losing our feet, and I stepped on a rock, lost my foot. Rock went beneath me.
It was a big rock.
It was a big rock, and just kind of rolled down and down into one of the waterfalls where there happened to be like a group of people
Like rock
abseiling.
Was it like, what's it called?
Canyoning.
Yeah, canyoning.
I mean, it avoided it. It wasn't.
It wasn't
too
close. It really wasn't close, but they weren't happy.
Which is valid, but I mean, yeah.
We walked straight back.
It was so unintentional.
Yeah.
If you happen to be listening and you're in that, I am sorry.
Yeah. So
No, camping was...
it was good fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great fun. Food was a disaster.
It was an absolute disaster.
I went out on a run and left these 3 lads to go to the shops to bring back dinner. And they brought back a jacket potato and a barbecue with sausages. I mean,
So this was Alex's idea. The sausages, well, the problem was the fire just wouldn't stay lit. So the sausages were basically undercooked. The jacket potato, one of them was good, and the person, TJ, who we gave it to, decided he didn't want it. So the rest of us had a hard jacket potato, which was on, like, baking in fire for a good hour and a half.
yeah.
And there was still, like, raw in the middle. It
Shit
really
idea.
wasn't good. The other idea was rice, and we were going to get, like, an Uncle Ben's rice and just put it in tinfoil and put it in the fire, which I think actually would have worked quite well. But
Better than jacket potatoes.
jacket potatoes were not a good shout.
No.
That was ballsy.
Mm.
So that wasn't ideal. The other night, we just got takeaway pizza. So
Yeah. But a thoroughly enjoyable
That
camping
was-
experience.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great fun.
Yeah.
Good to get away.
100%.
Yeah.
And then spent 2 nights with your twin, Nick,
Yes.
which was absolutely
Who is
splendid.
now engaged.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Super exciting news.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
was
that was
nice.
that was so much fun. It was just like,
Oh, the shooting stars, though.
yeah, the shooting stars. I blew into the mic massively then.
Yeah. No, the shooting stars, they were incredible. We saw the Northern Lights.
Saw the Northern Lights.
Quite clear as well. Like, you could see the colours. I remember saying to you, I was like, I think that's Northern Lights. And you went, nah, don't be silly.
Yeah, it was the Northern Lights.
And then we got a phone out and we were like, yeah, that's the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
And then we went up on top of the, like, the mound. That's what I was meant to say. Above Nick's campsite. And just sat in the dark watching the shooting stars.
Yeah.
Which was incredible. It was the weekend of a meteor shower.
Mm.
And some of these shooting stars we saw I will, like, never forget because they were just...
Different gravy.
They were different gravy.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
But no, that was, really nice. And Nick had listened to the podcast as well by then. So
Yeah.
they managed to give some gorgeous advice. A lot of criticism. Not a lot of criticisms, but like...
Positive criticism.
Yeah. Ooh. What's the phrase I'm looking for?
What phrase are you looking for, mate? Constructive?
Constructive criticism.
There we go.
Yeah.
I
What
could
we
just see your brain whirring away.
what we can and can't say. Yeah. And their input was so much appreciated.
And that's from someone that is I guess they're a counsellor.
Yep.
So it's quite good to have their feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but yeah, and then, I mean, yeah, since then just been busy, but loving it really.
I love that, mate. I love that.
Yeah.
I think we both had a pretty good summer, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. It's October now. Sad to come to an end of summer.
It is. I don't like the cold and I don't like the dark.
No.
I'm a summer baby. I'm not a winter baby.
I like winter clothes, but apart from that, it's...
Yeah, I like winter clothes as well. It just means I can wear hoodies.
Yeah.
But no, I much prefer being in the heat.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but I mean, I'm just excited to get on with this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can move on to our topic of the day.
Go for it.
Which we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about. Well, I received a text from my cousin the other week, and he was basically, because I had a chat about him about, I was nervous about the fact that I was losing my job, and it kind of made me feel like just a student, and then I was like, oh god, I'm a nearly 23-year-old student, and it kind of made me feel a little bit anxious, I can't lie. And he sent me a really nice message basically saying like, your own life is your own path, and basically you shouldn't let someone else's achievements or someone else's way of life dictate how you feel you should be living yours. And that kind of it got us both thinking, because I mentioned it to you, and we thought a really good topic would be about travelling, and where we could see ourselves in the future, like would you want to live abroad and things like that. So we thought this is something that we'd like to discuss on this podcast.
Yep.
So basically, should you fuck off to Oz, or should you go buy a house?
Yeah. One or the other.
One or the other. It's the debate.
Well, not one or the other, but like where does that
When's
lie?
the right time?
Like on a spectrum of let's buy a house or let's fuck off to Oz, where should you sit? Or like where is right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think it's valid.
That's what we've got to discuss.
Yeah. And I like it. So
yeah, go on then. Talk us through what you think is right in that spectrum.
I don't think there is a right.
No,
I don't think there is a right, and I think it's important to know that people do what they want to do.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying. I think for my personal view, I value memories more than money. And no, I don't want to be in my 30s renting and paying someone's mortgage. I don't want that. But I feel like your 20s is your time to enjoy your life and use your money for things that you're going to, for the moments you'll cherish. And if that involves going travelling, I know we say Australia, because everyone goes to Australia. Me personally, I'm not interested by Australia.
Yeah, I'm in the same bandwagon.
Are you? Yeah. But I'd much rather, I mean, you've done some of it, but I'd much rather do like Southeast Asia, South America, places like that. I'd much rather do than Australia, because I think Australia is a glorified England. It's just, I just think it's just, I've never been, so I can't, I don't have a leg to stand on. But from everything I see, and everyone always comes back saying, oh, it's like home away from home. And me personally, if I'm going travelling, I don't want to be. And like,
home.
You're just getting out your comfort zone. I know we want to touch on that later on in the episode. But to me, if you're going somewhere which feels like home, you're not really exploring.
No.
That's just my personal opinion.
I know people that have gone to Australia and been there for many different reasons and felt like they just couldn't be further away from home geographically. But also just like that whole distance is just huge, and like knowing you're gonna have to spend X amount of hours on a flight to get back towards home.
That's crazy.
But no, I agree in a sense of if I would like to go out travelling, I don't think Australia's at the top or near the top of the bucket list.
I think I'd much rather do New Zealand personally.
Yeah, but then I've heard that as like England, but
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So could you see yourself living in somewhere like Australia?
I don't think so.
No?
I think I'm too much of a family orientated, friend orientated kind of guy.
Yeah.
To be living that far away from home. I pride myself as a bit of a family man and someone that likes to be around my friends. I'm not saying I'm not going to meet friends or start a family out in Australia, but I just don't think I could have that separation.
Yeah, from your immediate family.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And some parts of the UK just feels like home.
I completely agree.
Like I could be at home and obviously feel at home, but I could go up to the Lake District or I could go to Pembrokeshire and Wales and just feel like this is just home, and this just feels like so comfortable.
Yeah.
Which, oh no, not comfortable. Maybe not comfortable, because we're speaking about getting outside our comfort zone.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with being comfortable.
No.
There is nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, for me and myself, if I'm going travelling, I'd rather not feel like I'm in my comfort zone.
Yeah, travelling, yeah, definitely.
But, like, there's nothing wrong with going to Lake District and feeling comfortable.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. So I think especially, like, looking at the bigger picture and seeing, like, starting a family and the whole, like...
Thinking about starting a family already?
No! Oh, let's just cut this, because Mum will be all over that. No, maybe don't cut it. But, like, no, but just, like, looking at those kind of aspects of my life, I just don't want to be away from the people that I love.
That's completely understandable.
And that love.
I'd say I'm in the same boat. I have family out in Australia. Yeah. But I'm not close with them. And I wouldn't say moving out there would make me close with them. For me personally, I just don't see the appeal of it.
No. The only person that I'd want to see out in Australia is Bunga.
Yeah, he's the only bloke.
Bunga. I would love to see that guy. Ideally now, really. But...
I just want to see that tash. Not your tash. He has a proper tash.
He has a proper tash. And a proper girlfriend as well.
Ooh. Shout out. Proper girlfriend. Is that Bunga's first proper relationship?
First ever girlfriend. Yeah. Wow. So
congratulations, Bunga. We're proud of you.
But yeah, so like if obviously like Australia's not up there for travelling, what is?
For travelling? Like I said before, it'd be Southeast Asia. Japan is my number one.
Ooh, yeah.
I'd love to spend months in Japan.
I reckon you could spend a whole year in Japan and like just go through the different seasons.
Yeah. Like there's so much, like you go up to the northern parts, it's so different to the southern parts of Japan. And I know for me, being a bit of a car nerd, that side of Japan as well is incredible.
Yeah.
Like all the night car shows.
Wow.
Going to the going to like the Nissan and like all the factories. I'm not going to get too much into it, it'd be really boring, but that is the side of Japan that I really would like to go and see.
Yeah.
So I think for me, Japan's number one. I'd love to go to Brazil.
Oh, okay.
I think Brazil would be incredible. But you kind of have to speak a bit Portuguese, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty much fluent in Spanish. Which
how's that Duolingo streak going?
Pretty nil.
But I would happily live in Spain.
Yeah.
I could move to Spain because it's close enough to come back and see your family. You know, you can hop on a 2-hour flight. You've got the nice weather.
Yep.
People are lovely.
Yeah.
And also, I'd love to be able to speak Spanish. I think it's such a good language.
There's no better way than learning a language by just shoving yourself in the deep end either.
No, but you just have to learn it at that point. So I think Spain would be my number one.
Yeah.
Like I was looking for year abroad placements in Spain because I was like, it would force me to learn the language and also satisfy my need to kind of move abroad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there isn't really many, but not in the field I want to be in.
So what is this need to live abroad then? If
I don't know if I feel too comfortable.
Ooh.
I would really like the idea of moving somewhere where I have no connection to. I don't know why. Like I sometimes feel like, because we've grown up in a small town, not a small town, but I mean it's fairly small working.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it can feel a bit ancestral. You know, you go on a night out and you know most of the people there. Or you go to a pub and you find someone you know, or someone's dad you know. Like, I really like the idea of going somewhere and not bumping into anyone I know.
Interesting.
I don't know, I really quite like that idea.
Yeah, no, valid.
So I think that's why if I was to do a year abroad, it'd be Spain or probably America.
Wow.
Just based on the field that I want to work in.
Which is cars and electronics.
It's cars and electronics. Because America is really big for that.
Yeah.
Like, you're very limited, or it would be. Nowhere else in Europe, really. Nowhere. Maybe Italy.
Yeah.
That'd be quite fun. I don't know if I really would want to live in Italy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think, I don't know, I definitely could see myself living in Spain.
Yeah.
Definitely.
valid.
Do you always think you'll live in the UK?
No, I think if there was to be a time, it would be in my 20s that I go and explore somewhere else. I think with the field of work I'm in,
You could very much get that experience.
I could get that experience, but I could also get that experience by just hopping around.
Yeah.
Maybe not have a designated home as such, but just not live on the run. Well, no, that's definitely not what I'm saying. Live on the run. No, like live on a hop. You know.
Yeah. Bounce from place to place.
Yeah, and like have a home, but you know, I'm like traveling and exploring the world, but with work and.
But do you not think that would put a bit of strain on relationships in your life?
Yeah, for sure. Like, definitely. But I feel like if there was to be a time to do it, I think this age is probably the right time to do that.
Yeah. I think 20s are the years to fuck up.
Yeah.
They're the years to make mistakes. Your 30s are probably where things get a bit more serious.
Yeah, I mean, we're nowhere near that yet.
No. I mean, we're nearly 23.
Yeah, that's true.
That's scary.
But
But,
it's a bit of real life.
I mean, we're still young. We're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that's expected.
Mm. Yeah, but like back to our original question of like buying a house or fucking off to Oz. So like we're kind of like sit somewhere in the middle of like definitely I think we both share a point of view of we want to just explore the world and spend our money on what was the phrase you used? Memories not money.
That's not what I said.
What was the phrase Brad used?
What was the phrase I used?
Something to do with memories.
It was something like that.
But just experiencing the world and just like I absolutely love it, and I've been fortunate enough to have opportunities, but there's so much out there.
Money comes and goes, but memories last forever.
That's not what you said, but
No, it's not.
I like it.
But it's a phrase that I like.
Yeah. But I just want to see the world. I just want to experience different cultures and just see what the world has to.
Would you solo travel?
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, I'd solo travel. I think it's such an important aspect of life. There's so many skills that you're going to learn.
I think you'd learn so much about yourself as well. Because you have to throw yourself into experiences and...
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, we were lucky enough to go on like a travelling experience, if you like, a road trip last year.
Yeah.
As a pair, and that was
That was great. That was
literally much fun.
It was great fun.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just absolutely brilliant. But yeah, on the flip side, I think you can have a lot of fun and learn a lot by solo travelling. I think it's important, and I think it's definitely something which I would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure where, not sure when, but I'm sure it'll happen. I'd like it to
will,
happen.
100%.
But obviously, I'd love to travel kind of in a pair, in a group. I think that would be just as much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, but all these things and like all these things that I really want to do involve exploring and traveling, you know?
Yeah. So would you say you value happiness over like monetary success?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the moment that happiness is looking like the exploring, the experiencing new things, meeting different people, and yeah, keeping fit.
Respectable.
But that's
Throw that in there.
maybe that's a different one. But like, yeah, that's like they're the things that make me happy. And but like, and of course, I'm lucky enough to have a roof over my head, and I can put myself in opportunities to have a hot meal, and you know, I can have that nice opportunity to be able to look forward to these travelling experiences. And I think that's like very much an important thing to not take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, that's travelling and exploring is high on the priority list.
Yeah, because I think people get too caught up, and we both know people that can be like that. They get too caught up in, you know, how much you're earning and the life goals that you have coming from that. Like, they want to have nice shoes, nice car, nice house.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we both look at life from a different perspective, where we'd rather have the memories and...
Sorry.
What are you laughing at?
Should have said, well, we've got nice clothes. I don't know why that's funny. I'm really sorry. You're going to have to restart that.
I lost the tangent.
I'm so sorry.
I was on a fucking roll.
Oh, no, maybe we can... No, we just keep this in. Because you were saying the right things, that people are fussed about, like, materialistic things. They're fussed about the car, the house, the
and
shoes.
people, they strive for, you know, to kind of show the money they earn. You know, they want to have that nice 5-bedroom house. They want to have the nice Audi parked outside.
Yeah. And I mean, like, this lovely cardigan here, you'd think Brad's splashing it out, but £4.50 on Vinted.
£4.50 on Vinted, mate.
And that's well nice, if you ask me.
From Nathan's nan.
From my nan, yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I think, it's like, they might value that as happiness, and that's so
And that's
okay.
fair enough, because people value happiness in different ways.
100%.
But for us, it's determining that money isn't the root of happiness.
Yeah. And I think on a slightly deeper level as well, like if you look at people that have got, well, looking to like buy the house or to have a nice car, you think like, where is it coming from? Is it because that's what they want to do?
Yeah.
Or is it something which like feels like it's the right thing to do? Is it from an external like pressure of like parents, or I don't know, the environment they're in? Like if they're in a job where people around them are always like driving the nice car, or like they've got that house, then they might feel the pressure to
the social pressure.
The social pressure, yeah.
Yeah. And that's funny you mentioned that. That's actually something I touched on with a therapist
Okay.
a little while ago. So I always think subconsciously I based my own success on what my parents would see as success. And that's not in a bad way. It's just I always kind of thought I'm only successful if my parents think I'm successful. And then I kind of learned to shift that and think, but my success in my mind, the value of success to me, isn't the same as what my dad has, and it isn't the same as what my mum has. So why am I striving to make someone else feel that I'm successful when my success doesn't align with theirs? And I think that's something that's really important, because people get kind of stuck in the whole, oh, but my parents want me to get a house. But it's not always something you should do for them. Yeah, it's lovely to get that gratitude and that love from your parents, because you feel proud in that sense that you're achieving what you want, what they want you to achieve. But I think for me personally, I got lost in that train of mind, and I was almost put myself in a place where I kind of thought I'm not successful because I'm not earning £45,000 a year or something like that. And I kind of realigned it and thought, but I'm doing what I want to do in my life right now.
Yeah.
You know, I've gone into education because I want to further myself. That to me is a bit, you know, that's success to me. Because I feel like I'm on a path that makes me happy, and I value the happiness as success. And that's just my personal view.
So like, if you were to like put yourself back in them shoes when you were having that conversation with your therapist, what would you say is like a good way to get out of that bubble, you know, of what your parents expect? Obviously it's not an overnight thing, but what would you say?
I think for me, it was determining what I viewed success as. And that can be quite a tricky question, because no matter, we live in a society where earning money is viewed as success. It is. If you earn a lot of money, you know, you'd say, oh, that person's successful.
Yeah.
Or that person's driving a Porsche, they're successful. That's just automatically what we say, and we've all done it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of shifting your mindset to kind of realise, but are they happy? You know, what's going on in their life? Like, is that a show?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. You don't know.
Could literally be a rental.
I don't like to say that about people.
Oh. Oh, okay, I don't say that either. But but all their funds could literally be
Yeah, it could be the car.
at the car.
It could be the car. And some people like to show off, you know, things like that, and that's just what people do. Whereas we're both not.
No.
We're not show-offs in terms of our assets and things like that.
No, exactly, yeah.
We're not like that.
What would you, if you wouldn't mind sharing, what is your value of success then?
My value of success is if I'm proud and happy with where I am in my current state of life.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is success. Like, if right now I can say I'm in a good place, I'm happy, things are on the up for me, like, you know, I walk around with a smile on my face. That's, to me, that's success, because it's not always easy just to wake up with a smile.
No.
And it's not easy to live life going around trying to think things are like a glass half full.
Mm.
Sometimes that's really hard. And I think if I'm waking up every day and I'm glass half full, walking around with a smile on my face, and enjoying what the world's bringing me, then that's success, because I'm doing things for myself. And I'm doing things to make myself happy. Whether that be, you know, going for a walk in the morning.
Yeah.
I know I don't want it to sound really silly, but for me, I just think success is enjoying what the world is bringing me, not wishing that I had more money because the money will make me feel success.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not how I'm viewing it.
That's interesting. So, like, would you say you're quite good at realising when you are glass half full? Like, are you quite good at recognising when you think you're being successful and when you're not?
I think I am now.
Yeah.
I think I am now. And therapy's definitely taught me this. I feel like I'm a glass half full person. I'm always quite a positive person. Like, today, I was in a traffic jam for 2 hours, and instead of moping about that I was going to be late for work, I saw it as a great opportunity to start dancing in the car.
Valid.
And I was just singing and dancing. Everyone driving next to me was having a good laugh, and I was like, I might have put a smile on their face.
It's a win-win, really, isn't it?
I'm like, they're moping about because they're late for their daughter's drop-off at school, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I've just put a little smile on their face, because I'm making a tit out of myself, dancing in the car, and singing a bit too overzealously to Michael Jackson.
Ooh.
It was a Michael Jackson morning, I can't lie.
Was it?
It was a little
Good
bit.
lad.
And to me, I really like that.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of shows that I'm making the most out of situations that aren't ideal. And to me, that's positive, and that is success.
You said it, folks.
Said it.
So, like, do you, like, my kind of, like, question is that I don't feel like I'm that good at reflecting on that. So, like, I think I experienced that a lot, of you singing in your car and, like, dancing in the shower and, like, stupid things like that, but being very much a glass half full. But I wouldn't say I always recognise when I am being that positive, you know, and what is it that's making me that positive? Because then you're way more easy to pick up on the negative side.
Exactly.
But, like, is there anything? Do you journal? Do you?
I don't journal. No.
How would you? What is it you recognise? Do you have like a 5-minute part of the day where you're like, "Ooh, how have I been today?"
I'll be honest, I don't.
I have what?
I don't recap my day at the end of the day.
No.
I don't do that. For me, I just kind of try and not analyze every moment, but experience every moment. Try and just. I always like, if something bad happens, if obviously I'm not thinking something like dreadful, like I mean something like I'm in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
I just always think, but what's the positives here?
How can I impact it?
Yeah.
How?
Like, what can I do
That's the one
to pull me out of this situation? And in that thing, I can't. So let's make the most of it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, don't mope about on something you can't control.
And, like, I saw a really interesting, like, breakdown of, like, it was actually like a traffic jam, which was the example of, like, or just being stuck in traffic. It's like you can go two ways, and you can stay positive and do positive things, and you go through all the steps of being positive, or you go through all the steps of being negative. No matter what, it's the same outcome. Exactly. You're going to be late, or you're going to be an hour late. You can't control it. You can't control it. So, like, what's the point of taking this negative route when you're just going to whinge and moan at people in the car and road rage? Or why don't you sing in the car and have a laugh, or take an opportunity to learn something, or
And another thing that I'll touch on, I feel like this is becoming quite deep now, was another thing from therapy that I learned, was because I struggled with losing control. And that stemmed, I think, from COVID,
Mm.
from the fact that so much happened that was out of my control. And that kind of put me in a little bit of a spiral that I wanted to control everything I could.
Yeah.
And it took me to therapy to realise that the things you can't control, you make the most out of.
Yeah.
And that's one of those situations. You can't change it, so you need to learn how you can adapt with it, not let it adapt you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Powerful. I think it's like, yeah, it's a skill and something which is easier said than done.
Yeah.
Like, we can sit here now and say it, but put us in a shit mood in a traffic jam, and I keep using traffic jam. Think of another.
I think it's just a good example, isn't it?
Yeah, when the hot water goes, just have your shower.
I don't know if I back that.
Just have the shower. Just love it. Just like, or like, okay, weather. That's another one for me.
Yeah.
Weather.
Sing in
like,
the rain.
Just, yeah, metaphorically and metaphorically, just sing and dance in the rain.
Yeah.
Because you can't control it, and just have fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
If it starts pissing down when you play football, just play football.
Just play football.
So, Nathan,
Brad.
one thing I was going to ask you is, do you base your success on your parents?
Oh, okay.
Like, not on your parents, but do you base them on wanting to make your parents happy and proud?
I think maybe at one point in my life, the answer would be yes. I think definitely the sport aspect and the sport drive from my parents was a bit of pressure. I don't blame them for it. I don't regret it whatsoever. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I think that, like, you get to an age where you don't want to wake up on a Sunday morning when it's absolutely pissing it down, it's freezing cold. You don't want to get up and play rugby in that weather. But, like, it's your dad and it's your mum that force you up out of bed and get you there. And I think at some point there was a switch where it wasn't them that wanted to do it for me, it was me that wanted to do it for them.
Yeah.
And then slowly, as I got older, I realised how much I'm enjoying it, how much it's doing for me mentally and physically. And then, yeah, I made that switch in my head. I'd say I was, I can't think of an age, maybe 14, 15, where I started to really enjoy it and wanted to do it for myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there are aspects of my life now which I feel pressure from my parents. I feel like if I was to look back and sit and think about it, I say like we share a lot of similar thoughts of what I want to do. And like when you hear someone that says like, oh, I don't like sitting around on their arse doing nothing, or I don't like not having a job, or just like rinsing the hot meals that my mum seems to cook every night, like the generic things, but I actually don't enjoy just being comfortable doing those things. I think like just as much as my parents want me to have a degree, be successful in sport, or not successful, but just enjoy sport or like partake in sport. Yeah, I feel like I've managed to find that enjoyment all by myself, which is, I guess, lucky. And I feel like it's a lot to praise for my parents. It's a lot to praise of just the way I've been brought up, really. Yeah.
But your parents were never overbearing, were they?
No.
They would never, like, you weren't, like, forced into doing anything.
No.
It was just more, they'd be the one to kind of persuade you.
It'd be like, right, Nate, get in the car.
Yeah.
I know it's hideous weather, but just get in the car. And it's like...
Yeah. But it wasn't like you were doing it out of your, like, against your own will.
No, God, no. It really wasn't. And, like... I feel like, I mean, as soon as I get there, maybe apart from a few occasions, but as soon as I get there, I'd have like the most amazing time. Yeah, it's just getting there, and it's that age, really. But that's the only time I can think where I've ever like had a different mindset. I guess like maybe with school, it was a bit of, I'm only doing this to please my parents. Like there were some areas of school. I think I've got a similar mindset now of like, if I don't think it's going to be valuable in my life, I'm going to not be that fussed about it. Yeah. RE, for example, at school, Spanish at school. I absolutely love Spanish now. But, like, subjects at school I didn't see valuable.
Well, you fell asleep in the RE GCSE, didn't you? I remember looking over and being like, what is he doing? I know. And you're just, like, head down having a snooze.
But we had a huge physics exam, like, after, and I valued that way more. And I probably could have just stayed awake for both of them, but no, I needed some kip.
Yeah.
But yeah, like maybe that was the pressure, and I felt like there were other subjects that I didn't feel very necessary, that I was only doing to try and, please the parents and like satisfy that area.
So do you think your A level, were the subjects you picked, were that for yourself or was that for your parents?
No, that was for myself for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% that's for myself. I knew I wanted to pursue sports on a scientific level, hence why I did sport biology and business. But yeah, I knew that I'd want to pursue sport in some way scientifically, and obviously I ended up going to uni to do sport nutrition. But
you did biology at A level?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Wow.
I did not know that.
That's so shit from you.
I know you did sport and business. I had no idea you did biology.
Yes, you did, because we really struggled in our sciences, me and you.
Yeah, of course we did.
Really?
I didn't know you did biology.
Yeah.
I must have at the time, but I don't remember it now.
Bloody hope so.
I do. Fucking hell. I'm actually quite shocked that I didn't know that.
Really?
Do you have Mickley?
Yeah.
Poor bloke.
He carried me.
Literally.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was that was tough, but we didn't even actually do our A levels in the end.
No, we didn't.
So,
which is a blessing and a curse, I think.
Massive blessing for biology, because that was tough.
Yeah, it was a blessing for me with physics.
Yeah.
But my other two subjects, I got shafted.
Yeah, I feel like I got shafted, to be fair. Not shafted.
Well, Forest, because they had a bad Ofsted, everyone's grades got bumped down by one, didn't they?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, that's what Thompson told me.
Oh.
Because I remember complaining because my predicted grades and my actual grades were all one lower.
Oh, that's quite sad.
And I said why, and he was like, because of the Ofsted report.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, A levels were all me. And then uni was like, I don't know if I want to go to uni. It was COVID year. I wasn't too fussed. Parents were like, oh yeah, maybe you should. But then I was like, nah, it's not for me. Worked for a year.
Became Nathan from the George.
Ran that pub. Sorry guys if you work there. I own that pub.
To be fair, you tried to become assistant manager, didn't you?
No, yeah.
You did.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Assistant to the regional manager. Assistant to the pub manager.
Yeah. And yeah, I just realised like it wasn't quite right for me. I was great customer facing, if I say so myself. Like, but I loved so many aspects of it, but it just wasn't right for me.
I won't forget the one time we rocked up
to
see Nathan working. This was the first night that pubs were allowed to be open, was it?
First week, I'd probably say, yeah.
First week. So we were like,
indoors.
Yeah, indoors. So we were like, we'll just go down, have a pint, and then, see where the night takes us.
Mm.
And then some bloke decides to rock up off his head and just fight anyone in his path. And I just remember you coming out with our food, and you were just like, what the fuck is going on?
I know. I remember bringing around like 5 desserts and like all on my hands and just looking over and going, like, what the heck?
And like so many people were legging it without paying their bills, and you were getting all stressed because of that.
Well, yeah. It was pretty valid because then it turned into it was pretty nasty in the end.
It was, yeah.
Not that I got involved, but just in the other
you were just there with your fucking apron on.
Yeah, I know. I had my like little apron, dessert still in hand, frisbee in them.
Yeah, I mean, the pub manager got smacked, didn't he?
Yeah, and it came inside and glasses were thrown and
window was broken.
It just got like, and it was just.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
No. And that was the kind of the pushing point for me. It was like, okay.
Don't want to work in a job like that forever.
No. But I respect it. I respect everyone that does it. And then that's when I decided I was like, right. Although my parents are like, oh yeah, still uni's on the cards. You deferred a year. It's like, no, actually, I want to go to what uni I want to go to, and yeah, that's what I did. But then, I think a lot of people kind of have an idea because my old man is so successful in like triathlons and fitness and just in general. He's just an absolute beast.
He is.
That like I'm like following in his footsteps, which like, yeah, sure.
You're starting much earlier than he did though.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I'm not. Although like I feel pride when I do it. I'm not doing it for him. It's for me.
It's for yourself. That's just the added bonus.
It's just and yeah.
Nice. I love it.
But no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I've had that pressure.
Good. I mean, it's good that you're using your own achievements for yourself. So Nathan,
Yeah, go on.
following on from what you've just said, if your parents' views on success isn't influencing what you're doing now, does it influence what you think in the future?
In terms of like
Your
house-
your outlook on when you want to have kids, when you want a house,
okay.
things like future goals.
Yeah.
Does your parents, opinion on that influence you?
I think their opinion matters. I think I definitely like value what they've got to say and what they value and what their experiences are. I feel like I've definitely grown up to kind of like learn to listen to those kind of things.
Yeah.
I think only so much of that might actually stay with me, like stick in my head, like if they're going to say, oh yeah, definitely kids after 30, it's like, oh yeah, cool. And I'll hear the reasons why, but I might not agree. I'm not saying that's the situation. They had kids before, but like, that's just an example. But I mean, my parents both had a lot of travelling experiences and when they were in their 20s and just had an absolute brilliant time.
Yeah.
My mum was lucky enough to do it by herself when she was in her late teens / early 20s. And then they went and did it as a couple. Like, so I think my mum will preach solo travelling for how much it took her out of her comfort zone. Just being kind of very kind of like independent at school, like came straight out of school at 16 into a job, and it's like, okay, this is the life now. And then suddenly it's like, actually no, I'm going to go travelling. And like from what she said, she's learnt a lot about herself from that, and I value that, and I think that's important, and I respect it.
Yeah.
But I know, like, obviously they met, and were able to go travelling together, and like had all those experiences. And I think like that, like you could argue that on a flip side, another parent with the house could be like that pressure. It wouldn't say it's pressure, but I feel like just from what they've experienced, and just like when you look back at the photos and you hear the stories, and it's like, that's fun. That's what I think is fun.
Yeah. 100%.
So it might be not fun to somebody else, and it might be different, but to me that's appealing. So like, I wouldn't say it's a pressure that they've put on. I just think just hearing from their experiences, that idea of seeing the world and just
taking their advice on board, but not necessarily using it to alter your own plan.
Yeah. So yeah, that really does appeal to me. 100%. And I feel like, but also on the flip side, I wouldn't say my parents, but my family and just extended family, or not extended family, but grandparents and etc. are just like, about the finances, it seems so stupid to throw away however much money to go on a flight to Bangkok, and then God forbid however much you're spending when you're actually out there.
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid. That's such a waste of money. And like that sort of money should be saved for like a deposit. And it's like, I hear you and I see what you're saying, but
you don't agree.
No, not always. I agree to it to a point. I don't think you should throw away everything. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. Like, it's a funny one, isn't it? It's trying to find that balance, and I think in my personal opinion, it'd be stupid to throw away everything to just pack a bag and go. Especially like in my position anyway. I think for me, where I'd want to come home eventually, and I'd want to find a place and settle down and start a family and be with my family. But so throwing away everything would just be crazy. But I definitely agree that what I'm earning, I should put stuff away to have that experience of travelling. Yeah, at this age.
I think that's the right outlook.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm in a very similar boat to you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you on if there was you had.
Yeah, I mean the difference for me is like, I don't know in my mind if I want kids when I'm older. I don't know that yet. It's not something I would say no to, and it's not something I would say definitely to at the moment. And as I've mentioned before, I don't want to be in my 30s paying someone else's mortgage and renting. That's not what I want, because I feel like you're never going to, get your own place by that point. So I always think it is important to have the goal of, I want a house by 29 or whatever, which is just, it's just stupid in this country. But that's a different topic. We're not going to get political.
No.
I don't want to get political. But for me, I'd say my future goals aren't based on what anyone's kind of told me. No. Like, I look at Charlie and Liam. Charlie's 28. No, just turned 29.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, it was a month ago.
Yeah.
And obviously she's got she's pregnant, due in a couple months. They bought a house when they were 22, I believe.
Wow.
Them two was at 22, maybe.
That's our age.
Maybe it's 23. That's next year.
Yeah. I'm not buying a house next year.
No. So like they did that, but then they did their travelling last year and the year before.
Yeah.
So they did it the different way. They bought the house, they did all that, they worked for a long time and then went travelling, which I don't think is a bad way of doing it at all. But for me personally, I think I'd rather have all of that out of my system before I'm ready to find somewhere to live, settle down.
Know where you want to live.
Know where I want to live. And I feel like you can't be sure on that until you've experienced different parts of the world.
Yeah.
That's my point of view.
Yeah. No, I think we've kind of gone a bit like full circle, which is...
We have. So coming back to it then, should you buy a house or fuck off to Australia?
Are you asking me a question?
Should you?
Fuck off to us, why not?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. That was a very long-winded way of saying fuck it.
Yeah, just live your life, but do what you want.
Do what you want. I don't think there's a right answer.
No. And, yeah, it's...
Do what makes
like
you happy.
Yeah, we've done quite well of just, like, reflecting on, like, trying to just work out and process what you want to do.
Yeah.
And how...
And what happiness means.
Yeah.
Like, in your own way. And I think that's important. Once you learn that, things look different in life, I think. If you know what makes you happy, you can strive for it. And that's better to strive for what makes you happy than strive for a goal that when you get there, you don't know how you'll feel. Like, so many people say that when they have their life goal set, and once they reach that goal, they feel worthless because they don't know what to go for anymore. Like...
I think like I hear a lot of sports podcasts and like I'm not going to name drop them. I mean, I know them personally, but like it's just very successful sports people that you think like, oh my god, they've absolutely won it all, and like that's just that's what people dream of. And like you look at like Johnny Wilkinson, who's like that's every kid's dream is to win the World Cup and like win that and do that like last drop goal.
Yeah,
that's like. And then he did it, and he won the World Cup, and he won a European Cup, and then it's like, now what? And he was like 38, at the end of his career.
Yeah.
But like that's mental to think you can be at 40 and think, now what? But just be so stuck, because your whole life up to that point you're just working to that one goal, and when it comes, if it does come, and it's just like,
yeah,
now what?
It's a bit like we're both big fans of NF.
Yeah.
And he speaks about it quite a lot, where he says that his goal was to always have a really successful song, do really well in the charts. He got that, and he said after that, he was like, that's my life goal, and if this is it, what do I have to live for? Because I've done it, and I don't feel the success that I thought I would by hitting it. And I think it's really important to then understand maybe you shouldn't base your happiness success on goals. It should be based on what makes you happy day to day.
I like that.
And that's kind of the mindset that I feel like I'm in at the moment.
That's a good point to take away from the podcast, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's one to take away, guys.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't want that to be really deep.
No,
I know we said we didn't want this to be like a wellness and like
but it's like
boring podcast.
I think that's important. I think that's quite valuable to take away.
Yeah.
I've never really sat down and thought about it like on that scale.
Yeah.
So to think, I really
Like, it's good to have aspirations and it's good to have goals.
Mm.
But I don't think, for me personally, I know because of my own mindset, I don't ever want to base, like, as we spoke about, my success based on these aspirations or goals, because I know I would spiral when I hit them, because I'd feel worthless at that point because I've done what I set out to do. So
Yeah,
that's why I
like
think
it. I think it's interesting.
success is happiness. As cringy as that sounds.
Brad said it first.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on a positive note,
Yeah.
week 3 coming your way.
Week 3, we've got ideas.
Yeah, and it's the introduction of the segments.
Yes.
We spoke about it in week 1, but we've finally sharpened them up.
Nathan's final of the week.
Nave's final of the week. Star of the week.
Star of the week. Are we going to go through with that one?
Yeah, we are.
I feel like we need a little certificate to hand out.
Oh, we can get a clip of...
Maybe we have their picture on the wall. In the shape of a star.
That's hilarious.
Maybe we do that. We'll have a space for your vinyl.
Yeah, just here. It's coming next week.
We need to make segment intros. So like when you're watching this, you have a little intro to each
Vinyl
segment.
of the week.
Nathan's vinyl of the week. Week.
And yeah, so that'll just be a bit more of an icebreaker. Oh no, I can't do icebreaker jokes because I did that in the first episode.
Yeah, you did do the icebreaker jokes in the first episode.
But no, not an icebreaker, but just you get to know us a bit more, and it breaks up the podcast, breaks up the monotone voices maybe.
I don't think we're monotone. You keep saying this.
Monotone!
I don't think we're monotone.
No, but yeah, exciting stuff.
So, I hope you've stuck through this.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed speaking about this.
Yeah, same.
Because, a last little thing to end with. I used to really struggle with being vulnerable and opening up about myself because of past experiences. And I feel like now I'm very happy because I can freely talk about the fact that I've been to therapy and the fact that I've been through things. And I really like the fact that I'm ready to talk about things like that. I don't know, from a personal point of view, that makes me quite happy. That I'm not scared of opening up about these things that we're talking about on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I quite like that. So thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Next episode will be out next week.
Yeah. It's going to be filmed next week as well.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be on it.
We are.
Like a
I'm
car
buzzing.
on it.
And I love it now because we're making this like an evening. We're cooking. And
oh yeah, Brad's sausage pasta tonight.
I did a banging sausage pasta, I can't lie.
With a stunning bit of salami in there as well.
Yeah, salami.
Straight from Italia.
So
shout out Vicky. Yeah, spot on. Stay off the path.
Keep off the path.
Oh, bollocks. Keep off the path. Go well, team.
Thanks, guys.